Hi there, my name's Donna Kozik and I am the founder of MyBigBusinessCard.com and the creator and leader of Write a Book in a Weekend. And today I'm sharing with you what I'm calling Donna's Masterclass in Writing. And I'm going to share with you how I outline an article, kind of get started on it. Actually, just a piece of writing. It might end up being an article or a blog post, might be an email that I send to my audience, could be something I post on Facebook, could be something I use in a book someday myself. But I have this little inkling for this article and I wanted to capture it, and I thought, well, I'll just share with you how I do that. So first, let me just kind of tell you the story of what came about. I was recently on vacation with my sister and brother-in-law, and Teresa, my sister, and Brad were sitting in a restaurant, and our flight was delayed leaving San Diego. So we were spending hours in this restaurant bar, and we would take turns going out, walking through the airport a little bit, double checking, seeing what time our flight would leave, stopping in a little convenience store, coming back, reporting what we saw, and all of that. So we're all real excited. We're giddy at starting this vacation. So Teresa came back after doing a little round, and she was in Hudson News and kind of browsing around, and she overheard this conversation. And it was two young people, a man and a woman, and they were looking at some different magazines and things to buy that you could read on the plane. And the woman wanted to get, it was a crossword puzzle book or Sudoku or something like that. And Teresa said, she said, oh, let's get this. And the young man turned to her and said, but we don't have a pen. And they talked some more, and Teresa was, over listening listening to what they were saying. And then, the woman really wanted to get this crossword puzzle book, and the man kept insisting, but we don't have a pen. And Teresa came back and told the story, and we're just, laughing, and all for our own reasons. But it really struck me on one level in that it's how we can argue for our own limitations. And I see this a lot with some of my audience members, some of my clients, some of my maybe would-be clients when they're thinking of writing a book, and then they're like, but I don't know anything about publishing, and I don't know anything about promoting the book. And to me, that's kind of saying, well, let's not worry about this at that point. I can tell you how to do that, but the point is that you want to get started. But because they have this blind spot, like, I just don't see it. It was just this young couple's conversation reminded me of that. Like, I don't have a pen. Well, we all know that, you could ask to borrow a pen. You could buy a pen. You probably could go and walk around the airport yourself and find one just laying on a seat chair or something like that. So it was just kind of interesting to me, and it was really funny the way Teresa told the story about how insistent he was. We just can't buy this book because I don't have a pen. So I'm going to write an article about this, and let me get started doing that. What I'm going to do next is share with you my screen. This is new technology I'm using called Zoom, and I love it. So let's see how this works. Okay, so if I did this correctly, you should be seeing a picture of myself and my sister. I'm the one in red. Teresa's the one in green there. We call this our Christmas photo. We did eventually make it on our trip, and this one was taken in Boston at breakfast one morning. And then also what I wanted to do is kind of like give an overview title for this piece that I'm writing. So I'm calling it Limit Your Limitations. And so I made myself this little title page for it or something I might end up using for it. But other than that, I have no preparation before this. I just want to do this in real time to show you how I go about outlining a piece. So I'll put that Limit Your Limitations at the top. And what I generally do is just a really fast, I'll make this a little bit bigger so you can see it, a really fast outline of a really fast outline of what I am going to write about, so I could just kind of capture the structure of it. So I'll have some kind of introduction. I might tell the story of vacation, and delays in getting started. But when I go back to revise this piece later, I might take this part out because it can be what one of my writing professors used to call throat clearing. So I'm not sure if it's going to be in there or not, but it could be in there. And then, of course, I want to tell the story, so say like overheard conversation. And then, I mean, this is the punchline of the story. We don't have a pen. And then when he repeated it, and I want to emphasize how insistent he was that it was just impossible to buy this crossword book because they didn't have a pen. We don't have a pen. Okay. And then I'll have kind of like the message. Don't little hurdles stop you from getting what you really want. Okay. Okay, so there's like three, so there, ignore that. So there's like three different, or there's three sections to this. I'll have the introduction and the story itself, and then also in there I usually have to put something about who I am, and sometimes it's as easy as putting like, this will probably be an email that I'll send my audience, so I'll probably start with saying something like, Donna Kozik, your book writing coach here. And I'll just start with, I recently. Okay, so I recently went on vacation with my sister and brother-in-law, and before we got started, I was reminded how sometimes we get in our own way of success. I know I'm going to go back and revise this. I don't like using the word we in anything. It's called the editorial we. A lot of passive voice in here, I was reminded, but it's a start. Then I'll probably just go like, Teresa was in. It's funny because when I was telling Teresa about this and how I was going to write about this, her takeaway was that young people they don't even think about having a pen. When she came back to the table and told this story, Brad, her husband, just kind of like whipped out a pen. It's like, here's a pen, go buy your crossword puzzle. And so Teresa's story was like, or Teresa's take on it, one of her initial ones was that young people don't know, or they just don't carry a pen because that's not the way they're wired these days. Whereas my takeaway was just ask somebody for a pen. So anyway, that was kind of interesting too. We discussed this in great depth as our vacation went on and referred to it once in a while. Yeah, I might just put two young people instead of a man and a woman. Okay. Oh, and actually the line was, but we don't have a pen. Okay, well, I won't go on with this. I think you're getting the idea here. So what I do in this part is just kind of tell the story, and I'm actually going to leave myself hanging. This is easy for me because I just told you the story. All I really have to do is get it on screen. But I can't help myself. A few minutes later, she repeated she wanted to get the, I think it was crossword. It could be Sudoku. This is where I take a little literary license. I might change it to Sudoku to make it more modern. I'm not sure. Emphatically. And he did use one. Okay, so I'll tell this story, and then next what I will do is just kind of outline, here's the main message I have. Don't let little hurdles stop you from getting what you really want. And then I'm going to give some examples of how I see people do this. Worry about publishing, as related to book writing, because that's my thing. Worry about publishing, worry about promotion, worry what other people will think, worry about success. I actually had somebody one time, and God bless her, she was really petrified in writing her book. She didn't want to write it because she was afraid of what a huge immediate success it would be, that she'd have to leave her family and go on a speaking tour and everything like that. And again, it's just so interesting how the irrational part of our mind works. And first of all, I was just very happy that she was so into her subject and was, really sold on her idea and her book and what she wanted to write about. And I didn't want to, burst her bubble at saying, well, it doesn't really happen immediately. I mean, there's going to be some effort and energy that you're going to have to put forth to promote this book. Oprah's not going to call immediately after it's published. But what was really going on for her was this fear. And so it's like a fear of success. And what life will be like. It's interesting because a lot of my clients want to be speakers and do book signings and things, but yet a part of them wants to stay where they're at and, in their home where they have families and they don't want to leave them, or maybe cats like I do, and they don't want to leave them for a long time. And this kind of internal turmoil can really wreak havoc on their dream of wanting to be an author. So this is something I'll probably address in this article, but I'm also going to be I'm working on a new book, and I'll probably go into this a little bit more in depth here too. How we get into our own way by telling ourselves these stories of immediate success. And so my bottom line here, though, I'll tell you, is that it's always your decision. It's always your choice about whether or not you go on the road, whether or not you go on Oprah. You can always tell her no. You decide what route you will take in promoting your book, and what a relief that can be if this is one of the things that's holding you back. Another thing is they have worry about their family. People worry about what their family will say, or if they're going to tell a story about their family in their book. That's one of their limitations. These aren't little limitations like not being able to find a pen, but we can make them bigger in our mind than they really have to be. So what I do is outline these kind of things, and then I'll give after each of these, I'll describe the worry a little bit, and then I'll give some solutions here, such as it's always your choice. That's my favorite. Another one is let's see. That's one I got from Jack Canfield. I was talking to him and telling him that sometimes my clients worry about writing books and what will happen. And he said, well, tell them, let's see, let's see what you have, and then let's take it from there. So, and I probably want another one here too. Confidence in the confidence, action breeds confidence. A lot of people feel that they are not confident enough to write a book, and I say, well, the confidence, you write the book and then the confidence comes after that. So I'll probably talk about that a little bit. So this is obviously not complete, but I'm going to leave it the way it is right now. I'll save it and leave it the way it is right now. So then when I'm like, okay, I have the gist of what I want to say here, and then I'll go back and it's kind of like I'm leaving myself hanging. So later on I could go in and kind of fill in the blanks, but this is a pretty good outline of the piece, and another, I don't know, 20 minutes or something working with it. I won't make you sit here and watch me do it. I'll finish it up and then get ready to send it out or have it in my next book or whatever that might be. So let me go back to, let's see here. That's not it. Okay, Word can't save my thing, fine. Larger, no, that's not what I wanted. Let me go back to, well, oh, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to go back and say thank you for watching how I work. Hopefully you gained a little bit here for yourself, maybe a little writing tip or something that you can apply for yourself when you're writing a blog post, something like that. And if you want some more techniques or information about what I do or how I can help you do it, as well as far as publishing or writing books and all that, there's probably some resources listed under this video. So until then, this is Donna Kozik. I am the founder of MyBigBusinessCard.com and the creator and leader of Write a Book in a Weekend. Look forward to seeing you in the bookstore and beyond.